Hi guys, so this video is about my C-section recovery, because a lot of people had written in on my YouTube page and they commented on Instagram that they wanted to find out what my recovery was like with a C-section and all that stuff. So what I was actually going to do after my pregnancy diaries was to talk about my first 2 weeks as a new mum. So I'll make that my next video, because let me just get the whole C-section, the whole C-section thing out of the way. And let me tell you how vanity comes into play with these videos. I'm really tired. Baby boy's down to sleep and it's like midnight, and I was like, oh, let me put some makeup on. Child, I can't, like, let's just be frank, like, it's not that deep. I mean, I finally got my hair done, so at least my hair looks good. Even though, and I'm like sweating, I'm so hot. My face is so oily, but oh, whatever, it is what it is. So, yeah, so let's get into it. C-section recovery. So, when you're at the hospital, I was in the hospital for a few days after I'd given birth, and that was fine. And yeah, you're in pain and you've got pain medication, but you're still kind of like in a bit of a daze. It's now going home that it's really real. So we take the baby home, and baby's in a car seat. And after you have a C-section, you're not allowed to lift anything, no heavy lifting, because you can rip your stitches and you've just had major surgery. So let's not get it twisted. A C-section is actually major surgery, and I think a lot of people forget, because they're like, oh, well, you had a baby. And it's like, yeah, I had a baby and I had surgery. So what I would say to anyone who's had a C-section, emergency C-section, or which obviously you're not prepared for, if it's a planned C-section, whichever way, just really take it easy. And I have to give that advice. I also have to take my own advice, because I'm kind of used to doing stuff myself, and I don't really like asking people to help me out with stuff. So I was just very like, I would try and do too much, and then I would just be in a lot of pain afterwards. So like I said, when we got home, even to like, I couldn't even, it sort of makes you feel a bit, I don't know what the word is, like, I can't explain it, or maybe just for me anyway. So I got out of the car and I just had to like wait for someone to carry the car seat out of the car with the baby, when it's like your natural instinct is to just carry your child. But because of the weight, I couldn't immediately when I was leaving the hospital, because a lot of the times I would be lying in bed and then someone would bring the baby to me and all that kind of stuff. So it's difficult, the word, it was just, I don't know, it wasn't fun. So getting a C-section is not fun, and then the pain afterwards, that pain is deep. So for the first week especially, when I was at home, getting in and out of bed was really difficult, because so I basically had to sleep on my back, and when I would have to get out of bed, I would have to get my husband to help me. So he would have to like come and pull my arms to get me out of bed. My arm looks so long there. Anyways, to get me out of bed, just because the pain, I can't, it just hurts, like your lower abdomen, that whole area. And then also it depends on what was really going on in there. Like it was, for me, it was my lower abdomen and then my right side. So even in bed, every time I would have to turn, if I wanted to lie on my left side, which I think for the first week I couldn't really lie on either side because I was just in a lot of pain. So that wasn't fun. And then the painkillers they give you, oh my gosh. First of all, they give you all these painkillers when you're at the hospital. They give them to you when you're going. And then they tell you, they go through the list and then they basically tell you this is addictive, and they only prescribe for a certain amount of time. Well, for me anyway. So I had tramadol, which I didn't like the way it made me feel. It made me feel too woozy. Like, so when I was taking care of the baby, I just felt a bit out of it. So I really didn't like that. But there were times where I just had to take it because I was in a lot of pain. Oh, they gave me codaramol. Oh, I think that's like paracetamol and codeine. Yeah, I see how they say people get addicted to that kind of stuff, because that thing is just efficient. But that one, I think they only prescribed for 2 weeks and that was done. But basically, I think I gave myself about 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I was still in pain, but I just don't want to be taking anything. And then I was thinking, oh, but isn't this affecting my breast milk? But obviously, they're not going to give you stuff that's going to affect the baby. So I just, the first 2 weeks were just tough. It was just, is the word tough? They were rough. Like, you just feel rough. I remember my naming ceremony, not my naming ceremony, my baby's naming ceremony. And, you know, this is what, 7 days later, and I just was a bit out of it, to be quite honest, because I'm just have taken so many painkillers because I'm in pain, and I'm standing and I'm holding the baby, or I'm sitting, I'm holding the baby, and you know, we're praying, we're going through the names and all that kind of stuff. And I just remember there was a point where I was just sitting there and I was just a little bit dazed, like you haven't slept. You haven't slept? See what lack of sleep does? You haven't slept? What? You haven't slept. And I just remember sitting there at one point, and I think I was just in a daze, like, man, I am tired, no sleep. You're on Codaramol or Tramadol or whatever. And then I was also given, because I was, sometimes after surgery you're like full of a lot of gas. I had like some peppermint thing, tablets that they gave me. Oh my god, my English, wow. Then what else did I have? Then I had like Gaviscon because I had like indigestion, or the ibuprofen was giving me heartburn, and just many things. After like 2 weeks, I was like, I'm done with this stuff. And the pain is still there. I mean, obviously it starts to ease from week to week, but I think my biggest thing with having a C-section is the fact that it just slows you down. I'm an independent person. I want to be able to carry my baby, walk around, you know, pat, and you know, just comfort when he's crying, and be able to walk around freely. And it just wasn't that easy. So one of the other things that happened was, I mentioned all the medication that they gave me when I left the hospital, and they actually gave me injections, like they had to administer myself, well, not myself, someone had to help me do it, but they give you injections to take home after you've had this surgery, the C-section. And they're blood thinning injections, well, to stop your blood from clotting. And then they also give you those not thermal socks, what they call them? They're these socks that they give you when you've had surgery, so that your blood doesn't clot. There's a word, they're very tight. If someone knows what they are, please just write it down somewhere. Why am I saying they're thermal socks? There's a word. It's really gonna annoy me. Like, even if you're flying on a plane, they get you to wear them sometimes. Anyway, they give you these socks that you're supposed to wear, and they come up to your knees, and they're really tight, but it's to help the blood pump and all that kind of stuff. The other thing was that also, like, I had to like buy a whole bunch of underwear, well, pants really, not pants, like trousers, like knickers, like these big black knickers, so that it would go over where my stitches were, so that it doesn't cut down too low, because that's also painful. But what I really found was, after my C-section, for like, it kind of lasted for like 2.5 weeks, I had cankles, right? Cankles are when like your calf and your ankles join, and it looks like a tree trunk. So it looks like a tree trunk, and then there's your foot. Like, my ankles were so swollen, my feet were just massive. I'm a UK size 4, and they were like, I don't know, they were just wide. So when I go to bed, I'd have to elevate my feet, and you know, they tell you not to move around well, you should move around, but just not do anything too strenuous. And I just felt like my feet I just looked insane. Those first 2 weeks were rough. So yeah, I had cankles, and they weren't pretty. The other thing was, I also had no appetite at all, and you kind of need to eat. They told me, the health visitor and the midwife, when they came to visit, they said you actually have to eat to help yourself heal. So you not eating, you kind of have to force yourself to eat, and also so that your breast milk starts to flow better as well. But I'll tell you the really messed up thing. If you sneeze, if you cough, even if you laugh, yes, something as joyous as laughing, the pain, it feels like someone just takes My English today, I don't even understand. If you sneeze, cough, laugh, anything like that that has to do with your tummy muscles, it literally feels like someone has taken a sword and just gone, stop. Anyone seen Walking Dead? Michonne? It literally feels like someone has taken a knife and has just gone, like, round your bikini line. It's like a searing pain. Oh, and I just remember anytime I'd want to sneeze, I'd be like, and I would like kind of sneeze with my mouth open, and then like saliva would just be flying everywhere just because I just didn't want that pain, but you'd still get that pain. So now that it's about like coming up to a month, now I can sneeze and there is no pain, but I'm still kind of cautious. I can laugh, I can lift heavier things, but I'm still taking it easy. I'm not allowed to drive for 6 weeks apparently, but where am I driving to? So I would say that's kind of been my recovery with the C-section. So it's not all bad. I mean, at least my hoo-ha is still intact because I wasn't able to push. So yay! Cloud, silver lining. What else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about my stomach while we're at it. Okay, now this pressure to snap back. Hey, you're gonna snap back in a week, girl. Yes. That's what everyone is telling you. That's what everyone's praying for. It's a lie. It's a lie. Okay, on a serious note, I think if you have a natural birth, like you have a vaginal birth, then yes, from what I've seen of people, their stomach does go down very, very quickly. The C-section, not so much. My doctor told me that my stomach would go down in 6 weeks. Notice how they say go down? They don't say goes back to what it was. They say it will go down in 6 weeks. Well, it's not even 6 weeks yet. So I would tell you, like, for the first 2 weeks, I just remember looking at myself and thinking, this is mad. I looked 6 months pregnant still. It just wasn't going anywhere, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm stuck with I'm gonna just look pregnant for the rest of my life. So yeah, that was kind of it was just weird. It still is weird looking in the mirror. I mean, it's gone down now. I look like I'm about 4 months pregnant. So you know, we're getting there bit by bit, week by week, week by week. I need to sleep week by week. I'm so sorry, guys. And so my stomach is like really black. I mean, it got darker when I was pregnant, but now that it's going down a bit, it's like just black. It's still black. And the other thing is, I mean, I told you guys that I had loads of stretch marks. So now it literally looks like a tiger just came, walked past me and went, like literally just went, and then ran off. Because it just like stripes, there's just stripes everywhere, all over the gaff. Yeah, but it's really black. So I'm just wondering if anyone else has had that experience, and does my pigmentation go back to normal? Is it gonna look like the rest of my body, or am I just gonna have like this huge black stomach? Yeah. The other thing is my belly button. So my stomach is going down, and I had I had an innie. My belly button was an innie, and it was like in, and it's kind of like just. It's not an outie, but it's like just flat, and it's not going back. So is it that it's never going back? Or like, is it gonna just be like that, and it's just gonna like it looks weird? And I guess I've had an innie all my life, so for me, I'm just like, so if anyone knows and can comment and can tell me that my belly button is gonna go back to normal, please do. I've been looking online, and a lot of people have just said, what is that? Oh, sorry, that's my camera. I've been looking online, and a lot of people have just told me that basically sometimes it just doesn't go back. So, yay! That's just weird, but whatever. And so what I've been doing to help myself and help my stomach shrink, because yes, they say 6 weeks, but you know, I like to ease things along. And also after C-section, you're not allowed to work out for 6 weeks. And when you do start working out, it has to be light and gentle. So I'm hoping that after 6 weeks, well, you know, I mean, I've been walking around quite a lot, so I'm just hoping that I can do, I don't know if I can do Pilates and yoga like straight away, but at least just little floor exercises. And for me, it's really about trying to tighten my core. So what I've done is, and now I would say this, I'm going to tell you about 2 like belly things that I've used. Please do not just listen to me and say, oh, I'm going to go get that. Speak to your doctor first, because even when I wore these things for my stomach, they still hurt. Like my stomach starts to hurt, so I have to take them off. So this here is they're different types, but this brand is called the Belly Bandit, right? You know, it's not like anyone is paying me for this, but I might as well just share what I found, and a friend recommended this. So this one, it looks like a flipping girdle, is called the Belly Bandit for the C-section, right? So I used this when I about a week and a half after I'd given birth, because my stomach was just too painful to even do anything at all. So just let it hang out, let it roam free. And it's got the little like corset. It's kind of like got a bit of bone here, and this bit at the bottom sort of doesn't cling to where your like bikini line is, which is where the C-section is. So that's why I guess it's the C-section Belly Bandit, so that it doesn't hurt your scar and doesn't mess you up there. I think people say wear it for like 12 hours or try and wear it for 24 hours. When I first started, I think I would wear it for like an hour or two because it was just so painful and so tight. So yeah, I got a medium because my stomach was really, really big. And it kind of helped a little bit actually. And then after that, I got the Belly Bandit, the normal one. And that's actually what I'm wearing now. So I got this one, I think is a small, because my stomach has gone down a bit. So I don't know if you can see. So this is me with the Belly Bandit that I'm wearing now. So let me take it off. Hang on. I'm gonna show you my huge black stomach. Oh gosh. Okay, so this is me. Okay, it's because I've just taken it off, but it is a little bit bigger. But can you see there's still some stuff there? And how do I say? This is basically, this is what it looks like. So it has like Velcro, and it can go. Obviously, you can change how tight it gets when your stomach starts to get smaller. So this one I really like. The other one, not so much, but it still helped. But this one I like. It's very easy, and I'm starting to wear it for a few more hours each day. And then what's the other thing? Oh, but I'll tell you what's weird. I mean, like I'm just like hoping my stomach muscles are, I mean, they are still there somewhere, because when I can hold my stomach in and then release it. So those are the muscles doing the work. But should I tell you what is really weird? That when I cough now, that my whole stomach jiggles. Literally, it's like, and my stomach is like, it's literally like going, like, it's just weird, like, bloop, 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 you know, and this is like a little bit hanging there, like, bloop, bloop. Ooh, you know, tighten that core. I'll just be doing plank for like 24 hours. So that's it. My C-section, what my stomach is like now. And yeah, you know, I guess when time comes, I'll just exercise and stuff. So anyone out there who's feeling the pressure, is looking on Instagram and you see some celebrity and they're telling, and their snapback is like, hey, look, 2 days, pow, I'm out and about, pow. That's good for them. That's good for them. That's their business. But you know, don't sweat it if that's not happening for you. Focus on your child and focus on your own self and focus on your health. That's really the main thing. All right, guys, so my next video is going to be about my first 2 weeks as a mom. I'll be talking about breastfeeding and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I will speak to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.